Wow. And finally back again. Another episode of the Team Keep It Clean podcast. And thank you for y'all being patient. That's the first thing. Thank you for being patient. I appreciate just the support on here. I love y'all. We are sitting at, for this YouTube channel, 937 subscribers. So 937 people were like, you know what? We're gonna give this thing a shot. So thank you, all 937 people. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Just to get straight into it, today, when I'm recording this, is Saturday, January 30th. I was just talking to one of my boys who I grew up with, and I'm like, wow, it is such a small world. It's a small world, because my guy, he's a Rams fan. I still always forget how he became a Rams fan. I still got to ask him again. But anyway, he's a Rams fan. And I guess he was searching up stuff on YouTube, how, you look up information on your team on YouTube. So he was doing that, and he came across a video of a guy talking about the Rams. And so then he sent me the video. He's like, hey, check this out. This guy's talking about the Rams. And so I watched it. I was like, okay, cool, man. Cool. But then I looked down at the guy's name on YouTube, and I was like, wait a minute. I know that name. I've seen that name a lot. And I was like, hold on. I said, that's a subscriber. Like, he's part of Team Keep It Clean. And like, the channel, even though it's a small channel, we have a little bit over 37,000 subscribers. But there are some names and profile pictures that I just remember, that I just know off top. I know who that is. I know, for a lot of people, I know what type of comment it's going to be. Because we talked about this in the last, I think in the last podcast, when we talked about just protecting your energy. And some people, you just know. They let you know what type of commenter they're going to be, usually from the jump. But a lot of people, they just show you that consistency too. But with him, I'm like, no, I know that name. I know that name for sure. So I looked up a video, because I wanted to show my boy, like, hey, he's definitely a subscriber. And so I looked up a video from like 6 months ago, and he had commented on it. He's a Seahawks fan, but he had commented on a video when we made a video talking about the Seahawks trading for Jamal Adams. So then, again, timing is everything. So while I was texting back and forth with my boy today, who had sent me the video in the first place, the guy whose video he sent me, he had commented on the Orlando Brown Jr. video that we did last night. So it's crazy how that worked. And he had commented before. Because I ended up commenting on his video saying, hey man, I didn't even know you did videos. And I told him just to keep going. And, his name is Aaron Hockey, by the way. Aaron Hockey. He has about, I think, 808 subscribers. So y'all check him out. So that was pretty cool, because it was just like, man, like my boy, who, like, I know in real life, not just one of my YouTubers, but no, like a friend, pretty much family. But it was just crazy how he's just browsing YouTube. And YouTube is huge. YouTube got millions of people on there, but he's browsing YouTube and comes across a random video. It's a random video. And that video is somebody who was a subscriber. It's just that's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But anyway, shout out to my guy Garth. He got a podcast. It's called Garth West, the Smoke Break Podcast. You can check it out on YouTube, and spelled exactly like that. No beating around the bush, no funny stuff. It's called Garth West, the Smoke Break Podcast. So they talk about a lot of different stuff on there. We're gonna cover a little bit more of it from the YouTube channel in the near future. And then we probably had to have him on here too. and then I maybe go on his as well. We'll set that up though, because it's off season, and it's crazy because even though Ravens off season it started a lot earlier than we wanted it to, even though we are in the first week of no football at all, because in between the AFC and NFC championship, in between those games and the Super Bowl, it's that 2 weeks break where it's no football at all. But things have been busier than ever. Things are very, very busy right now. And you would think, oh no, it's slow season. Oh no, it's not. It's really not. And NFL, they got to have these fillers too. So NFL be pushing some stories a lot more than others. You know how it goes. That's part of the business. That's part of the business. The NFL is not going to have a time, especially before. It happens every single year. Every single year. And it's part of the business. Last year, now, I don't remember what it was last year, but I'm sure it was something. But I remember a couple years ago, of course, with the Tom Brady and the Patriots. It's 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. NFL is a business. They need people talking about them. What happens? Boom. Deflategate. Deflategate. Oh, the Patriots, they're deflating footballs. The NFL got to keep their name in these streets, man. They got to. They got to keep their name out there. Now, right now, what's been happening? Of course, there's been a lot of hires and whatnot. Been a lot of new head coaching hires and different players and people getting hired for different positions on different coaching staffs. But right now, I think the biggest thing in the NFL is Deshaun Watson. All the talk about Deshaun Watson. And it's crazy because there's been the trade speculation going around for a while, but it just so happened to be that this week, in between the coincidence, I don't know, but it just so happened to be that this is the week that the trade request became official, as if he didn't already want to get out of there. So, just something to think about. And then today, it just came out that J.J. Watt wants some clarity on his future with the Texans. But this is not going to be the only story that comes out. It's going to be plenty more stuff. So y'all just keep your eyes open for that. Just a little tidbit with the NFL. It's nothing new. It's not a surprise, anything like that. It's part of the business. And you got to keep them people talking about you. So that's the NFL. But anyway, another thing too, something that I've been seeing float around, is the Eagles' new head coach. I don't remember or know who he is. I don't remember what his name is, but I've been seeing a lot of people get on him about a clip of his opening presser, of his press conference. And in the clip, he stuttered a little bit, and he was just speaking, saying we got to be smart, and we got to outsmart opposing defense. We got to be smarter than the opposing. Our offense has to be smarter than the opposing defense, or defense has to be smarter than the opposing offense, and da-da-da-da. And people were like, they were like making fun of it, like, oh man, this the guy that got hired? Really? And I was thinking, like, I didn't think him stuttering and all that was a big deal. I did not think it was a big deal. I know Shannon Sharp put something about it, and he was like, oh, this is the guy that got hired over Eric Bieniemy. And with Eric Bieniemy, hey, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know how, like, it's like with Eric Bieniemy and Wink Martindale, for the Ravens defensive coordinator. So Chiefs offensive coordinator and Ravens defensive coordinator, they should make a super team. When one of them leaves, it's probably going to be Eric Bieniemy first, but they should go make a super team. Like, when that time comes, because they're going to be like, you know what? They should make the 33rd NFL team, as a matter of fact. The 33rd NFL team. Because we got 32 right now. They should both leave and be like, all right, let's get it. We're gonna build something, and we're going to try to take over. Because it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like two people from some of the most successful units in the NFL. Nothing. Now, one thing to think about, too, even though I don't think this should really keep them from getting a job, but one thing to think about with Eric Bieniemy and with Wink Martindale. Both of them have some of the best assets at their disposal. Both of them have some of the best weapons at their disposal. Eric Bieniemy, he has the best quarterback in the game right now. The best. Patrick Mahomes. He has a great receiving corps. Fast, crazy fast. Their speed is insane. It makes no sense how fast they are. And one of the best tight ends in the league. You can even argue the best tight end in the league right now. But you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, very good rookie running back. Added Le'Veon Bell. They didn't need him, but they added Le'Veon Bell. And they're running back. It's not Damian Williams. I forget his first name because Damian Williams opted out, I believe, but I forgot what his first name is. But Williams, their running back core is set. They're good, but they just got a very nice offense. Nice offensive line too. Excuse me. Even though they just lost, I think, Mitchell Schwartz for this rest of for the Super Bowl, or was it the one on the other side? No, I think it might have been the one on the other side. I forget who, but anyway. My point is that Chiefs offense is loaded with weapons. Loaded. And Eric Bieniemy, he has them at his dispense. Now, you look at Ravens defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. Defense loaded with weapons. Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Jimmy Smith. Then you got Calais Campbell. You had Derek Wolfe. You had Yannick Ngakoue. You had Matt Judon. Then you had some lesser-known guys like a rookie Patrick Queen, L.J. Fort, Tyus Bowser, Deshaun Elliott, Chuck Clark. But still, a very good group of guys there to play defense. Pretty good group. So, again, I don't think that should have any bearing because, it could possibly. Some people could look at it like, since with Eric Bieniemy, that's what he did with the best quarterback in the league. Maybe he's overrated. I don't think it should be like that, but maybe some people feel that way. And with Wink Martindale, they could say the same thing about him. Oh man, Ravens always put so much money into their defense. He's overrated, but I don't think it should be like that. Because again, it is true they do put a lot of money into their defense now, but they're one of the top defenses every year. Every year. So, I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what happens with both of those guys. It's gonna be interesting to see. Anyway, but yeah, so those have been some of the other stories when it comes to this 2 week in between the Super Bowl, the championship games and the Super Bowl. It's been a lot of fillers with the head coaches getting jobs and head coaches not getting jobs. And then, of course, the Deshaun Watson thing now, J.J. Watt. And all the quarterbacks, too. All the quarterbacks that's getting ready to get shipped out. You got Matt Stafford. He's officially going to be going because Lions already done said it like, okay, thanks, but we're moving in a different direction. And apparently it was a mutual decision. You got there was even a little article saying that the Colts would welcome back Andrew Luck. So there was that. There was talked about the shot. There's Jared Goff. That's another one. The Carson Wentz stuff has sort of died down quite a bit. We'll see what happens with that. Drew Brees, he retired, so that's that. Jameis Winston, he's a free agent because he only signed a 1-year deal, I believe. So I think Taysom Hill is the only quarterback on their roster. So, I mean, it's always something. NFL is always going to have something to talk about. So, I ain't mad at him, no. Because, with the channel, we always got something to talk about, too. So, and then that's what questions from subscribers, man. Y'all went crazy with it. Like, questions from subscribers. I tried to this year, and it was a big step. It was a huge step forward when we did do it. When we created an email strictly for questions from subscribers. So, and that because before, if I know there's a lot of people that weren't around before for questions from subscribers, but the way that we used to do it before, and I had control on it for a while, but then it ended up just getting out of hand. The way that we used to do it before was, I would say if you got a question, you can send it via email, or you can send it via Facebook, Twitter, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat DM. So that was 5 different ways you could send your question, and it's all over the place. So I would get questions on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and via email. I would get questions all of those different types of ways. And it just got overwhelming. It got crazy. It got really crazy. So I was like, man, this is too much. Because I'd be having to pull questions from here, over there, over there, over there, over there. And it's like, can't do this anymore. So then I ended up doing the email. So like, all right, got a question from a subscriber, send it to teamkeepitclean@gmail.com. Cool. And for some people, it took them a little adjusting to do that. But it just, man, it made such a big difference. But the channel, it started growing a bit. Still small, but it started growing a bit. But right now, over this year, I wasn't able to keep up anymore. I wasn't able to keep up, and excuse me, things just got crazy. And if I had 60 emails for questions, that used to be a good thing. That used to be a good thing. Like, if I had 60 emails, I'd be like, that's a lot, because it's not even 60 questions, because a lot of people send, like, loaded questions. They'll send an email, but it'll have, like, 2-3 questions in there, or some really in-depth, detailed questions, which I appreciate. But now, I have, as of right now, as of this recording, I have 392 emails. So there were a lot of them that we didn't end up getting to, and we couldn't get to because it just became impossible to get through everything. So then we had to start changing the way we did questions from subscribers again, because we got so many emails, and then like stuff would be so busy. And then like if we did just, say for instance, we just did questions from subscribers, and that's all we did, that's the only type of videos we did during the week and stuff, we wouldn't have to do any other videos. But the fact that so much always happens every single week in the NFL, with the Ravens, with not the Ravens, it's just questions from subscribers. It's hard to really get it in like that. Or not hard to get it in, but we can't get everybody's question. So we got to select like some of the best of the best. And then some questions from subscribers got a little bit longer. Like I remember I did one episode that ended up being like 2 hours long. Like I recorded, not a live stream, and this was a couple months ago. And it ended up being like 2 hours long. But a lot of people appreciated it. A lot of people appreciated it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. It was fun, because I got caught up on all the questions that I had at the time. But now it's probably like impossible to catch up. But anyway, just a little background. You know, like on here, I like giving you a little bit of the background of what's going on with Team Keep It Clean, because it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work, but like I always say, it's fun work. It's very fun. It is challenging, and it is a lot to do, especially because it's a one-man show. It's just me, which I don't mind. But it is also everybody else. It's also just Team Keep It Clean as a whole, because a lot of people, they will give input, give suggestions, obviously give questions, give great comments, support the channel, support the podcast, and all of that stuff goes a really long way. It really does. Goes a really long way, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. So anyway, Orlando Brown Jr. I just got a text from one of my guys. He said, man, that's gossip. That's gossip, the whole Orlando Brown Jr. thing. With how that tweet, all he did was tweet that I'm a left tackle. And we all took that and ran with it. Now, with him saying that, all right, y'all know how I feel about it. I feel like that's him just trying to get his money. He trying to set himself up to get paid. I ain't mad at that. But then some people did bring up some good points about it. They say that is selfish. That's him taking away from the team. I mean, I can understand that. I ain't mad at him trying to get his money. But then, too, Ravens, they got all the leverage. Ravens have all the leverage in this situation. Orlando Brown Jr. has absolutely no leverage whatsoever. He has none. He has none. Because he was, I think, a third-round pick. And he got 1 year left on his deal. He ain't got no leverage. Because if he holds out, he'll lose money. And then he'll lose an accrued year. So I wouldn't expect him to hold out. But if the Ravens don't want to trade him, they won't trade him. So Ravens, like, and I, initially when I made the video about that last night and we talked about it, I didn't think about that. But it's true. Ravens hold all the cards. All of them. So with Orlando Brown Jr., I don't know, man. I'm not so set on him leaving now. Well, at least this year. Next year, that's a different story. But the Ravens hold all the cards. Now, if he was a free agent and they franchise tagged him, and they wanted to do a tag and trade, then in that case, he would hold the cards. Because if they franchise tagged him and wanted to do a tag and trade, in order for that tag and trade to go through, he would have to sign his franchise tag. If he didn't sign it, then he couldn't be traded. So then he would be able to sort of facilitate or help facilitate where to be traded to. Because if Ravens told him, all right, we're going to trade you to the Jets, for instance, just to use him as an example. And he was like, nope, I don't want to go there, so I'm not signing. They can't trade him. But if they told him, hey, Orlando Brown, we want to trade you to the Broncos. And if he was like, yes, okay, I'll go there. Then he signed it, then it will go through. So he won't hold the cards until then. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, that's that. Enough of the football stuff. I hope that all of y'all doing good. I had somebody yesterday, like on Instagram. I don't know why people I don't get it sometimes, man. This is why you gotta protect your energy everywhere, because there are people that would just take some stuff too seriously. Well, anyway, and you never know what somebody got going on in their life. Maybe it's just bad timing for them. I remember when the school year first started. So this is around August, September. On my Instagram, I would be making fun of Carter's teacher, not making fun of her, but just making fun of the situation, and just bringing some light to it, just joking around about it on my Instagram. And then one guy, he commented, and he said that what did he say? He was like, I don't get why. He's like, why are you being so negative about the school? Why are you being so negative about it? And I told him, I said, I'm just joking. And it's like 99.99% of the people that replied to my stories on Instagram about Carter School, they knew that I was joking. And some of them even related with their own kids. But this one guy, he was just like, no, why are you doing like that? He's like, I don't understand why you're being so negative about it. So I told him I was just joking, but I said, you know what? Let me protect my energy. And let me actually protect his too. Double whammy with protecting energy, because what I did then, I restricted him from viewing my stories. So now he can't see my stories anymore. So if he feels some type of way about me being negative or this or that, he won't, because he won't see it. So then yesterday I put on my Instagram story, because I was playing Crash Bandicoot. Actually, me and Carter were playing Crash Bandicoot 4. Game was a lot of fun. Pretty challenging too. But Carter, man, he is with it. I'm with it too, but Carter's with it. But playing Crash Bandicoot, put it on my story, and I was like, all right, I said hopefully the work day is over. Hopefully the work day is over. Cause I ain't feel like doing no more work yesterday. But then somebody replied to the story, and they were like, "Oh, how old are you?" Or "How old are you again?" One of them today, they said, "How old are you?" or "How old are you again?" And I just responded ... Cause I was thinking like, what? Like what? And then I kept responding. I was like, I wrote another message and oh, does that mean? Are you saying that I'm too old to play video games or something? Or is that what it is? But then I thought about it, and I was like, huh. I don't have anything to prove to this person. I don't need to explain anything to this person. This person is, for whatever reason, they just feeling some type of way, and I feel how I feel about this, and they probably feel how they feel about it. So I said, you know what? So I unsent the messages. So I said, you know, I'm not gonna go back and forth with somebody about this. Not even gonna go forth. And I ended up, I did the same thing. I just restricted them from viewing the stories. I said, cause what's the point? Because I said, I'm glad I did this because this is protecting my energy, protecting it. No, I'm protecting it. So I was like, okay. Then that was that. So let it go after that. And it felt good. It felt good. Cause I'm like, hey, and that's something too. Like, I think that's weird. Like when people try to put an age limit on people playing video games. To me, I don't think that makes any sense. Cause some people be like, "Oh, you're too old to play video games." Like I've heard this conversation. Like I heard it on the radio. I've heard it a lot. But how can you tell somebody what the age limit is on something that they enjoy? That doesn't make any sense. Like, but I mean, it is what it is. Different strokes for different folks. So, we didn't have any crazy comments or anything on YouTube recently. I know we had almost started like sort of a weekly segment for the Team Keep It Clean podcast where we highlighted like a funny negative comment that we got from somebody that was sort of like almost outrageous. Like I remember last week or last episode, it was somebody saying that like you act like you're trying to get a job for ESPN or something. Like that was a bad thing. And I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything like too crazy. So I guess that's a good thing. I know more will come though, so that's fine. But anyway, I just oh man. One thing that I want to do, I'm gonna have my boy Rob on here soon. Probably the next episode of the podcast. But I do want to gonna just be working with more people. And that's on YouTube. That's also on here. Having some more guests on here. Just get some different perspectives on some different things. But so just be on the lookout for that. We did recently have Sarah Ellison on the YouTube channel. She did a phenomenal job. That was great. I could have, we could talk forever. But she could talk forever too. And so I loved it. She had great energy. We didn't agree on everything, but that was fine because I love how she presented her points on stuff. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Loved it. Because any type of way she felt about something, she would have some valid points to back it up. And I'd be like, okay, Sarah, you go ahead. And y'all know she used to work for the Ravens directly. And she had plenty of good things to say about them. And it was cool, man. It was cool having her on. She did a great job, man. She did a great job. So it's just a lot of fun, man. So that's what we're gonna do again. This offseason, it is offseason for the NFL. Offseason for it ain't offseason for the NFL yet, but offseason did kind of start already. Even though we got one more game left, I think everybody's just, I don't know. Again, I do interact with some Chiefs fans. I don't really know many Bucks fans, but I haven't really there's so much other stuff going on. I ain't really heard much people talking about the Super Bowl like that. So, even people that I know, like after the championship games, the AFC and NFC championship games, maybe like a day or two after that, I ain't really been hearing much about the Super Bowl at all. And I know they were off this past week. So we'll probably start hearing more about it now, since they're going to be practicing more and whatnot. So we'll see the injury reports and all that, and all that blah blah blah. Now, one thing that's interesting is that NFL was talking about, oh yeah, if what was it? I'm trying to remember. Oh, with the whole C-19, with all the COVID cases and stuff, they were like, if a player, they already reached the benchmark or the deadline or whatever for where if a player tests positive for it, then they would miss the Super Bowl, because you got to be out 10 days. So 10 days before the Super Bowl's on Sunday, so Saturday, Friday, Thursday. So I guess Thursday would have been that day. So if you got COVID anytime on Thursday or after Thursday, then you were gonna be out. You can't play in the Super Bowl. But you just know, like say for instance, a star player got it. You know they ain't gonna keep them out that game. You know they're not. You know they're not. So anyway, when I saw that deadline, I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So anyway, that's that, y'all. So team, keep it clean. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Shout out to all the patrons. I really appreciate y'all too. Again, thank you for just being willing to support the way that you do. Shout out to Garth. Shout out to Jay Frank. Shout out to Nick, Mark D, Hottie, Micah, David, Marco, JD, Jay the Kid, Ronnie, Forrest, Corey Klein, biggest fan, Oscar, Shavang, Joshua, Harry, Kevin, Steven, Yolanda, Ball So Hard, I got Garrett, John, Isaiah, Lewis, Davis, Jerome, Buddy, Gary, Tank, Marquita, Cam, and No Gimmicks. I appreciate y'all patrons for what you do. Again, the whole Patreon thing is a work in progress for me. Because I do want to do something special for y'all, but I'm just really trying to get everything figured out, because things are like always crazy busy. Always. Things are always crazy busy. Like there be a lot of times when I'm thinking, okay, well, stuff about to slow down. Like I really thought, like once Ravens season ended, stuff about to slow down. Nope. Not at all. But I don't mind though. It's cool. But it just, with stuff being so busy, it does make things harder. But it's all good, man. So appreciate y'all. Hey, I do love y'all. Thank you for just supporting everybody. Thank you for listening. And hopefully, maybe by next episode, we'll be at 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. That'd be nice, but we'll see. I ain't gonna count on it, but you never know, because sometimes Team Keep It Clean, they be going extra crazy with stuff. But anyway, love y'all, appreciate y'all, and we out.